Hi, in this video I will tell you about Pontem Network. This is a company that builds foundational products for the Aptos blockchain, so like protocols, developer tooling and infrastructure. So let's first talk about Aptos to then understand what Pontem is actually doing there. And to talk about Aptos, we first have to talk about Diem and Libra, as you might also know it. Libra was originally a blockchain developed and backed by Meta or Facebook. And then it was bombarded by regulators, so they kind of renamed the project but left the main storyline the same, and they called Diem from that point on. But then they were again bombarded by regulations, unsurprisingly, and Facebook and Meta, basically Meta, finally gave up. Diem was sold to Silvergate Crypto Bank, which basically marked the death of it. However, it didn't mark the death of the functional tools that the developers have been building for years, and that includes Move programming language and Move virtual machine. And then the ex-developers of Diem went on to build their own blockchains. So there were 2 developers who went on to build Aptos, and there were 4 other developers who went on to build Sui. I have a video about Sui you can watch, however this video is about Aptos, and we will focus on that one. Aptos is a very new layer 1 blockchain that is launching this fall. And yes, their aims are exactly as you might have guessed, to be the smartest and the safest smart contract platform. However, they are promising over 160k transactions per second, which is quite a large number, and I would guess it is very hard to count at that point, so you can just say that it's nearly instant execution of transactions. As I previously mentioned, Aptos, just like Sui, is built by ex-Diem developers, so the 2 blockchains share quite a few similarities. For example, they are both using Move programming language, however Sui went on to build its own version of the Move language, and Aptos stayed with the original Move language that was developed for Diem. They are also both aiming for very high transaction throughput, over 100k, so at that point you're just both aiming for a nearly instant execution, which is just less than 1 second. About Sui and Aptos, you can make another full video, so if you're interested in the comparison, I can make it, so just let me know in the comments. Aptos has a consensus based off proof of stake, and it was originally developed for Diem, and it's called Diem BFT. However, they made a couple of tweaks on that, and it's called Diem BFT version 4. The redesign allowed for the blocks to be committed in only 2 steps instead of 3, as it was previously, so yeah, this greatly improved the transaction throughput. They also introduced a pacemaker for timeouts for validators to synchronize them and improve the latency of the blockchain. And additionally, they introduced a reputation system that allows for non-responsive validators to be chosen less and the leader validators who are most responsive to be chosen more. And this prevents the unnecessary latency delays, which is again a good thing that allows for the 160k transactions per second. Although the technical aspect is a crucial one to blockchains, it is not what Aptos is famous for, and to be honest, that's not what any of the blockchains are famous for, apart from Ethereum and its merge. But Aptos is mostly famous for 2 things, and that is ex-Diem developers, because duh, Facebook. Additionally, the amount of money that was invested into it, and to be precise, it is $350 million. So they first closed a $200 million round, and it was led by A16Z or Anderson Horowitz. And afterwards, just 4 months afterwards, they closed another round, which was rather recent, for $150 million. So let's sum it up real quick. Aptos is a new layer 1 blockchain that is built by ex-Diem developers and has a lot of money invested into it by very reputable funds. So these are all very green flags for mainstream adoption. However, the main obstacle that you can count is the fact that Move programming language is rather new for developers and there are not many resources available. So that is where Pontem Network comes in. Pontem Network partnered with Aptos to create foundational products for Aptos blockchain using Move technology. So this includes, as I previously in the very beginning said, like protocols, developer tools, and infrastructure. So for example, you can say automated market makers, so DEXs in other words, EVMs, and so on. All the dApps that Pontem develops are going to be exclusively deployed on Aptos blockchain, and they're going to be built in close direct support from the Aptos developer team. So the teams are now working very closely together to bring Move to the masses. However, it wasn't always this way. And let me tell you about the backstory behind Pontem. Pontem Network started as a project building a canary network for Diem. To To be precise, it was building a bridge between Diem and Polkadot. So the developers have been using the Move programming language and the Move environment ever since, so since 2016 or so. So they've gathered quite a lot of experience that they can now use with Aptos. So they directly partnered with the Aptos team, which was not previously possible with the Diem team. Pontem has 4 products at the moment that are at the latest stages of development. First one is, the most famous one, is a liquid swap. It is a DEX that you might even have participated in a testnet for. It is now running on Aptos DevNet, however, it is very smooth despite that it is on the DevNet, and you can just go try it out. I tried it out, I can demonstrate it on the screen. It was, very smooth experience, very fast. And to interact with it, I used Pontem Wallet that is already available on the Google Chrome store. The third and the fourth one aim to ease the development for those who develop on Move, and they kind of go hand in hand. First one is a Move Playground, which is an online code editor for Move, and another one is a developer environment for Move. So like you have a PyCharm IDE for Python, and you have this for Move. In their roadmap, they have quite a few products planned for the future. One of them is Pontem Blocks, which is a no-code required automated tool for yield farming and other DeFi strategies. Another one is MoveVM Transpiler, and an important point about MoveVM here is that it is compatible across multiple blockchains, including most popular ones. So this is great for blockchain interoperability. And the other 2 products that Pontem is developing is a governance tool, which will involve the creation of a governance token, a DAO basically. And you're also going to have a block explorer, a very useful thing for a blockchain, and it is going to be built by Pontem as well. Now let's move on to the investors. Pontem held one funding round in summer last year for $4.5 million. It was led by Mechanism Capital and Kinetic Capital. Over 30 investors participated, so I'm not going to name them all. However, there were a couple of names that you probably have heard of: Animoca Brands, Delphi Ventures, Alameda Research, and Avalanche. And since Pontem and Aptos are literally partners right now, Aptos is also in the backers of Pontem Network. Now let's sum up what I've been talking about for the last couple of minutes. There was Diem blockchain, and it got shut down, it died functionally, however it left Move programming language and Move VM. So ex-Diem developers took those technologies and went on to develop Sui and Aptos. Aptos is a rather ambitious developing change that is going to launch this fall. However, the main issue is that Move programming language is very new and young, and there are not enough resources available for developers. So there are many green flags for mainstream adoption, however, the language is too young for the developers to use and to be widely adopted. Hence, you have Pontem Network that is helping with that and is building foundational products for Move programming language and basically Aptos blockchain. That was it for this video. Thank you for watching. Many links are in the description, so don't forget to check it, and see you in the next one.